The Union Budget of India is a significant event that shapes the economic trajectory of the nation for the upcoming fiscal year. It is a comprehensive financial statement presented annually by the Government of India, detailing its revenue and expenditure plans, as well as policy initiatives across various sectors. The presentation of the Union Budget is a constitutional obligation, enshrined in Article 112 of the Indian Constitution, which mandates the government to lay before Parliament a statement of estimated receipts and expenditures for that fiscal year. Purpose and importance. The Union Budget serves multiple purposes and holds immense importance in the economic governance of India. Allocation of resources. One of the primary functions of the Union Budget is the allocation of financial resources to different sectors of the economy. It outlines the government's spending priorities and reflects its policy objectives and developmental agenda. Fiscal policy tool. The budget serves as a crucial tool for fiscal policy formulation. It helps the government in managing the country's finances by determining revenue sources, setting expenditure targets, and addressing fiscal deficits. Policy direction. The budget provides insights into the government's policy direction and priorities across various sectors, such as infrastructure, healthcare, education, agriculture, and social welfare. It signals the government's intent to address specific challenges and promote certain industries or initiatives. Economic stability. Through the budget, the government aims to maintain economic stability by ensuring a balance between revenue generation and expenditure, managing inflationary pressures, and promoting sustainable growth. Transparency and accountability. The budget enhances transparency and accountability in financial matters by presenting a detailed account of government finances and expenditure plans. It enables stakeholders, including citizens, policymakers, and investors, to assess the government's performance and hold it accountable for its fiscal decisions. Components of the Union Budget. The Union Budget comprises three main components. Revenue budget. This segment of the budget accounts for the government's revenue receipts and expenditure for the fiscal year. It includes revenue generated from sources such as taxes, direct and indirect, non-tax revenues, grants and aid from the central government, and borrowings. On the expenditure side, it covers day-to-day expenses such as salaries, pensions, subsidies, and interest payments. Capital budget. The capital budget outlines the government's capital receipts and expenditure. Capital receipts include proceeds from asset sales, borrowings for capital expenditure, and recoveries of loans granted by the government. Capital expenditure includes investments in infrastructure projects, acquisitions of assets, and loans and advances to state governments and other entities for capital purposes. Fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit is a critical indicator of the government's fiscal health and represents the shortfall between total expenditure and total revenue receipts, excluding borrowings. It indicates the extent to which the government needs to borrow to meet its expenditure commitments. Managing fiscal deficits is essential to maintaining macroeconomic stability and investor confidence. Budgetary process. The preparation and presentation of the Union Budget involves several stages and stakeholders. Budget formulation. The budget formulation process typically begins several months before the start of the fiscal year. It involves extensive consultations between various ministries, departments, and stakeholders to assess expenditure requirements and revenue projections. Budget presentation. The Finance Minister presents the Union Budget in Parliament, usually in the last week of February. The budget speech outlines the government's policy priorities, economic outlook, revenue and expenditure estimates, tax proposals, and sectoral allocations. Parliamentary approval. The budget is subject to parliamentary approval, following which it becomes effective for the upcoming fiscal year. Both houses of Parliament debate the budget proposals, and any amendments or modifications are incorporated through the Finance Bill and Appropriation Bill. Implementation. Once approved by Parliament, the budget is implemented by various government ministries and departments. It guides the allocation and utilization of financial resources across different sectors and programs throughout the fiscal year. Conclusion. The Union Budget of India is a comprehensive financial document that plays a crucial role in guiding the country's economic policies and development agenda. It reflects the government's priorities, allocates resources across sectors, and sets the stage for economic growth and stability. As a cornerstone of fiscal governance, The Union budget serves as a roadmap for achieving inclusive and sustainable development and upholding transparency and accountability in financial matters.